Good afternoon, everybody. Today is Monday, Derby week, the greatest week of the year for horse players. Looking forward to the Derby. So, welcome to the Let It Run podcast for Monday. Usually it's the pick of the day segment. Did not get a chance to go through any of the cards because I don't want to waste time with, more of a local Parks or Will Rogers kind of place. All our time is going to be spent studying for Friday and Saturday, two of the best opportunities of the year with the gigantic pools, large fields, competitive racing. So we will be focusing on that. So today and probably Wednesday, we'll talk a little bit about Derby, initial reactions about the draw, upcoming shows as soon as we know who the guests are going to be. But before we get started, I want to thank our sponsors. Let's see if I can go smaller here. There you go. We got our sponsors on the bottom, Case's Pork Roll and the Vape Shop, our local sponsors. And special thanks to Brisnet.com, the Handicapper's Edge, for all your handicapping needs. Prime Power ratings, early and late pace. They are appreciated. And let's see, we are going to, how come that's not showing up? All right. All right, guys. They are running a special for their Derby and Oaks packages, $29.99. Go to Briz. There you go, Brisnet.com, the Handicapper's Edge. There's the Ultimate Derby package right now for $29.99. You can't beat it. A week's worth of information, totally overloaded with stuff that you can use for the entire weekend. It will be updated as we go along, but the Brisnet Ultimate Derby package. So basically, I just want to talk a few seconds about the draw for the Kentucky Derby, what it affected, how, any big storylines that came out of it. Let me see here. The Derby is Saturday. Let me go right to the right PPs here. Looking at Derby Field, one of the biggest surprises, there's always something, but for starters, the morning line favorite, Renegade, drew the rail, which basically, I wasn't, if you're in the Renegade camp, I don't think it was a normal, well, eliminate that horse or whatever. But if you just look at the setup there, where he is, on the rail there, he'll get a little bit of position with Ortiz. Albus most likely will drop back and out of it right next to him. He'll drop behind him and probably won't have to worry about him. The 3 and the 4, Intrepido and Litmus Test, will probably be gunning out of there for the lead. So that would give Renegade a little bit of time to get settled in on the rail, get a nice position before all the other horses come over on him. And the speed should come from the outside. And it's funny, they're grouped together. It's the 3 and the 4. And then also the 16 and 17 right next to each other should come out of there as a team and challenge for the early lead and get over to challenge the 3 and the 4. Further ado on the outside, absolutely lighting it up with, the way he looks over the track, the way he's taking to the track. Gotta follow him this whole week, but he is making the best impression at Churchill, and he should get a nice stalking trip from the outside, float over there, and get a mid-pack position. So Renegade, as we started talking about, maybe he'll be a little closer because he wants to secure some position. He doesn't want to drop back to 18th or 17th, like way back on the rail, and lose all that position. So my guess is he'll be, hustled a little bit out of there and maybe try to secure a top 10 position somewhere for Renegade. The rail, I don't think will hurt him. I know people hate the rail, but for this particular one, I don't think it's, that damaging. And since they made the starting gate a 20-horse gate, not the 2 gates, where it was a problem, where the one would actually have to make a right-hand turn out of the gate to avoid the rail in front of him. Now he starts off the rail a little bit, so he has a little bit of room to play with. And the way the horses lined up next to him should, be okay for him. Some of the best draws, I thought, the 6 Commandment actually, got a great position, he should have him right in that second flight behind the 4 or 5 speed horses. So he could find himself sitting, my guess, around 5th through 10th, somewhere in there in that mid-pack range, making the move. So that, should be okay for him. The Puma drew well. Really, I don't think anybody got affected by this. Chief Wallaby got one of the best post positions, number 12, right there. The horse to his outside, Silent Tactic, will probably take back and make that, one run. And that's when he was the best, when you took him way back and then made that, one final run, rather than getting that horse up, prompted to the pace. Probably not his liking, and he really didn't have that punch in the stretch. So maybe they'll revert back to the Southwest Stakes or the Smarty Jones when they took him way back and made that, big last run. Potente for Bob Baffert, another one that, could be forwardly placed. He should be sitting right behind the initial speed. Last time he was forced to go on the lead in the 7-horse race. Don't expect him to be on the lead, but, he'll be, right behind those leaders. Emerging Market, another one, lightly raced for Chad Brown. Just what I'm hearing about this one, no horse with 2 lifetime starts really can win the Derby, but this horse just victim of circumstance as to, why he is so lightly raced, but he is fit as a horse that really started, his campaign this time last year. Even though he only got to the races 2 times, there was, circumstances that, went along. My crazy long one that I'm going to be rooting for is where's he at here? Drew, the 7-hole, Danon Bourbon. So hard for these Japanese to come over here and, do it. Look at Forever Young. I mean, if he didn't get bumped by Sierra Leone, maybe it would have been a different outcome and you would have had your first Japanese winner. And, Forever Young, how good he turned out to be, world class horse, and he couldn't get the job done. So is Danon Bourbon that category? I do have a future book on him at 40 or 58 to 1. So if he does come through, I, get a couple bucks back, but will not be, the top of my plays. I will include on the Saturday. And the far outside here, 16 and 17, 6-speed in Pavlovian. They're going to be the outside speed there. Full effort, definitely not affecting him from the 20 hole. My guess, when they break out, he'll just dive right over to the rail, save as much ground as he can, and make that big closing run that he's always made. Golden Tempo, same thing with the 19 hole. He'll be going back with Jose Ortiz, and he'll be making that run. We still got some days to see if there's any scratches or anybody else gets into the field. Great White, if he does draw in, he'll add pace to this Derby. So that's that. We got a lot of shows coming up this week. Wednesday, maybe we'll talk about, last-minute fine tune-up workouts that went on this week. You can watch the Clockers report on DRF for sure. Mike Welsh does a great job of analyzing all the workouts, how they're traveling over the course. Further Ado keeps making a better impression every time, I see him. Was definitely not in his camp coming in, figuring he was a horse for course at Keeneland. And what he beat behind him, a little suspect. So I was going to fade Further Ado, but the more I see him over there, just doing everything that he's asked of, and they're really not asking him for much because I think they're loaded with, sitting on a grenade ready to explode on Derby Day. So if they got him timed right, it looks like he is taking to the track, and maybe not a one-hit wonder horse for course at Keeneland, but somebody that, I'm going to, use more prominently is one of the 5 big guns. Tough to separate those 5 big favorites. They all look very formidable, that they could, all be battling it out down the stretch. The Puma, Commandment, Renegade, Further Ado, Chief Wallaby. They're the 5 main principles. And then let's see, Wednesday show, we'll talk about some workouts. Thursday, we're going to have a special show Thursday evening, 8 o'clock, and we'll be having a deep dive into the Pick 5 at the Oaks on Friday. So the Oaks is 8:40 p.m. in the evening, under the lights. First time ever, the Kentucky Oaks will be run as the last race, 8:40 p.m. So it's a long day Friday. Starts at 11 a.m. and ends at 9 o'clock at night for 12 races, 12 I think it is. So they're going to stretch them out pretty good on Friday. Wide open race there, just like the Kentucky Derby. So that we'll talk about that on Thursday night. We're going to try to line up some special guests. We'll post it, let everybody know. We're trying to get, whether Ed DeRosa, Mark Miller, Wade Kala, who joins us from Tampa usually, Gus Alonso from Spotlight Selections. So we got a handful of people that we're trying to see their schedules. So special podcast on Thursday evening, 8 o'clock, talking about the Oaks. The normal Friday happy hour at 3 o'clock, right in the middle of the Kentucky Oaks card. We'll be deep diving and looking at the Kentucky Derby late pick 5, the 5 races, leading into and ending with the Kentucky Derby's pick 5. And then on Saturday, live from the Hibos, the Hibernian Club, doing the normal 12:30 show with special live guests joining us at the club, people jumping on via Zoom to give their opinions, last-minute opinions after scratches come out for the remainder of the card, any spot plays throughout the day, and then deep dive on how to possibly play the Kentucky Derby this year, whether it be superfectas or the pentafecta top 5, or just stick with the tries, win bets. Everybody will give some opinions on how they would wind up betting it. So I think with that, we will be back on Wednesday, talk a little bit more about the workouts, and then really get into handicapping as we really get time to peruse the PPs on Thursday night, Friday afternoon happy hour, and Saturday live from the club. So one last time, Brisnet offering the Ultimate Derby Oaks handicapping package, $29.99. Get yours now. Sign up, and your subscription is good through the Derby. All the updated stuff that they give out will be updated there. Keep checking it out, briz.com. So with that, we'll see you on Wednesday at 2 o'clock and talk a little bit more about possibly the workouts and anything that we see interesting in the development of the Kentucky Derby field. All right, guys, thanks for joining, and we will see you on Wednesday.